Here's the real problem that they have. Trump is either an unstable threat to democracy or he's somebody that the independents can work with. It can't be both. So you can't have a closing argument that confuses people who, to the extent that there are undecideds left, are going to make up their minds going in. Like, that doesn't give them something to work with. Plus, they keep saying that they don't really know him enough. Then you have some Democrats now who are saying that they have buyer's remorse on Kamala Harris because you had a weakened Scranton Joe, but is a dangerous California liberal worse for these battleground states? Maybe. Maybe they didn't have a choice. And I think Nancy Pelosi would say that they didn't have a choice. They would have loved to have like a mini primary that didn't work out. But the fact they have buyer's remorse 14 days before an election, not good.
Here's the thing. Democrats thought they could gaslight the American people into voting for Calamity Harris. They thought that what we will do is we'll trot her out. We will hide her from the press, and dumb, stupid, low information voters will go out there and vote for her because she's a strong, independent black woman, don't need no man. And it all blew up in their face because it turns out the electorate actually wanted to hear from the candidate. Uh-oh. Well, that posed a problem because now the only candidate you have is Calamity Harris. And so what are you going to do? So they brought her out of hiding, and you can watch her polls sink after every stinking interview. Why? Because she is wildly unlikable. When will Democrats learn? Look, they learned with Barack Hussein that, hey, you know what? Say what you say. This guy he can speak a really good game. He's got a silver tongue, man. This guy can do all of the dirt we want to do with the American people. He can decimate the middle class, and he'll walk away with a 90% approval rating with Democrats. You didn't have that with Calamity. So guess what? Now they're having buyer's remorse. Now, some of you are thinking, Stu, you don't have any proof. You have any proof that there's buyer's remorse? No. Oh no?
Battleground Democrats who are locked in tight Senate races are just chucking Harris under the bus and bragging about their ties to former President Trump. Check out these ads they've been running.
Casey bucked Biden to protect fracking, and he sided with Trump to end NAFTA and put tariffs on China.
Tammy Baldwin got President Trump to sign her Made in America bill.
And then she got President Biden to make it permanent.
I wrote a law signed by President Trump forcing drug companies to show their actual prices.
Wait, what? Why are these Democrats touting their bona fides with Donald Trump? Isn't he an existential threat to our democracy? I thought he was like Mussolini. He was Adolf. I mean, he was the worst of the worst. Why are these Democrats siding with him? Citing that they can actually work with him. Shouldn't they be out there campaigning with Calamity Harris? Unless they know Calamity is a calamity. I'm telling you. Here, let's go through
Battleground Democrats who are locked in tight Senate races are just chucking Harris under the bus and bragging about their ties to former President Trump. Check out these ads they've been running.
Casey bucked Biden to protect fracking, and he sided with Trump to end NAFTA and put tariffs on China.
So he bucked Biden, sided with Trump, and slapped tariffs on China. I thought that tariffs were these horrible, horrible things that you can't do those. If you do that, it's going to be horrible for our economy. And I thought that, you know, he was like a madman. Trump was a madman. Why in the world are Democrats now touting their bona fides that they can now work with Donald Trump?
Tammy Baldwin got President Trump to sign her Made in America bill.
And then she got President Biden to make it permanent.
So now Democrats are saying Made in America, it's a good thing. Wow. That Democrats almost sounds like a Make America Great Again.
A law signed by President Trump forcing drug companies to show their actual prices.
Really? I got Donald Trump to sign this bill, forcing these people to show their prices. All of this, the existential threat, and hang on, because it actually gets worse. And it, you know, I know that people, they don't want to believe it because, you know, it kind of gives you a false sense of security. But I'm here to tell you, no, this is actually happening. And take a look at this. Fox News, traditional Democrat leaders in key Michigan voting bloc ditch Harris, endorse Trump. Some Arab leaders in Southeast Michigan believe former President Trump will bring peace to the Middle East. What? How could they even come to that conclusion unless they remember Donald Trump's 4 years as president? Here's the thing, okay? It ain't just me. Some Arab leaders in Southeast Michigan have heard enough from Vice President Calamity Harris and are now encouraging their community to throw their support behind former President Trump. Just look where we are right now and look where we were before. Look where we are right now. Look where we were before. They're talking specifically about the Middle East. People hate him. They hate Donald Trump. He's a brilliant negotiator. That's what he does. He negotiates the better deal. Do you guys remember when Barack Hussein said that when he says you know, he's going to improve our economy? He said, well, how are you going to do it? He says, I'm gonna make a better deal. And Obama goes, well, you can't do that. What has he got, a magic wand? Yeah. Yes. Actually, it turned out he does have a magic wand. It's called getting rid of all of your regulations and then giving them a tax break, incentives to come back home. But this is your clearest indication. Okay. For those of you who don't believe, still, you don't know what you're talking about. Still, you always think you're right and we don't buy it. Oh no. Well, when CNN does a fact check on Vice President candidate Tim Walz, you gotta know the writing is on the wall.
Let's talk about manufacturing. Building back up manufacturing in the United States is a focus of both campaigns. I want to play for you what Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz said about this yesterday.
We want to make sure that you're able to bring manufacturing like Kamala Harris has did. We know Donald Trump lost more manufacturing jobs than any president in American history. Yep. That's simply factual.
What are the facts here?
Well, if you're going to say something is simply factual, it should be factual. This is not. It's not true that the Trump presidency lost more manufacturing jobs than any other presidency. Under George W. Bush, there were about 4.5 million manufacturing jobs lost. Under Trump, it was about 178,000. Now, there were also more manufacturing jobs lost than under Trump, under Eisenhower, under Ford, under Reagan. So Trump does not have the record. I think it's also worth pointing out for context that these Trump job losses in manufacturing overwhelmingly occurred because of the COVID pandemic. Pre-pandemic, under Trump, there was a gain of about 414,000 manufacturing jobs. Again, he ended a negative 178,000, but that was largely because we had a pandemic-related crash.
Oh. You mean Tim Walz lied again? By the way, that's not the news. You would think that's the news. That's not the news. Of course he's going to go on The View and lie, because all of the cackling hens on The View are not going to push back. There's nobody there that's going to say, well, wait a minute, hey, hang on. You actually have a person that actually worked with Donald Trump not giving him any pushback, and she probably knows those numbers. So sure, you can go out there and lie on The View, but when CNN does a fact check and skewers you in front of their tens of viewers, that's not a good look. And I'm telling you that I could be wrong. You know, I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. I see no pathway forward for Calamity Harris to win this election. I don't see it. Typically, I can see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I saw it with Biden, primarily because they gaslit people in hating Donald Trump. And now those very same people now know Joe was a disaster. Now they're trying to trade us in for another disaster. We want Trump back. I'm telling you, there is no pathway forward for her. I could be wrong. I'm not right all the time. I could be wrong. I gotta tell you, man, when Democrats are touting their bona fides with Donald Trump, what do you think they're doing that for? Because they're in those races where it's tight and they know their internal polling is showing Trump surging in the polls. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please, baby, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.